Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's Diego with the beautiful Karina here in the Panhandle of Florida. And this is the K1 Visa channel, the Green Card channel, the Spousal Visa channel. It's your channel full of free information to help you get through this K1 Spousal Green Card process as smoothly and as stress-free as possible. Okay, we're here for you. It's January the 31st, 2024. That means January's gone. Goodbye, January, right? Tomorrow's a new month, and we're going to start a new month. And that means we're going to be a month closer to getting your K1 visa in your beneficiary's passport. And Harold A. jumped right in there. Hey, from Sacramento, California. What's going on there, Harold? We hope you are doing good. We hope you're having a good day in Sacramento. What is it, like 3 o'clock in the afternoon in Sacramento? And I made a video about price increases. Now, the price of visas, K1s, green cards, spousal visas, I-130s, all the visa prices have gone up in price starting on April 1st. Okay? So starting April 1st, 2024, the price of a K1 visa is going to increase. And the price of a green card is going to go up. The price, the adjustment of status, and the price for processing family petitions, all of it is going up in price. And immigration is justifying the price increase by saying they need to be able to fund the asylum seekers. Okay, so we're going to be paying more money for our visas so we can fund asylum seekers who come into our country, okay, basically in a much easier process. It is what it is, guys. Bud Garcia, hello, Diego and Karina from Washington State. Now, what's going on, Bud? I hope you're doing well. We hope your prometita's doing good in Thailand. Michael Q, hello, Mr. and Mrs. Ross. What's going on, Michael Q? Today was a good day. It was nice and sunny here in the Panhandle of Florida. It wasn't cold. It wasn't warm. And it was a good day. And Karina we took a trip to the beach, and she was walking in the water in her bare feet. So she got to wade in the Gulf of Mexico today. Jin Ganesh, hello, Diego and Karina. Good to see you guys from Guyana. We love our friends in Guyana. In Guyana, now you guys, you get a little bit of tension there from Venezuela, right? Maduro, he seems to think that Guyana belongs to him, right? But we're going to protect you guys, okay? The United States is going to protect you guys in Guyana from that communist, okay? All right? Let me think. Let me see. Jacob Myers. Jacob. Hello, Diego. What's going on, Jacob? Long time no chat. How's everything you're in Colorado, right? You're in Colorado, Jacob. Did you get married yet? I think you did, right? And Bud Garcia, yes, she is. Thank you for asking. We're glad to hear everybody's doing well in your family, Bud. And April Flower, hi, Diego. I am meeting the income requirement for K1, but don't have a good balance on my bank account. Will there be an issue? No. If your income is sufficient, if you're making enough money every month, every year, if you can prove it, that you're way above 125%, okay? Immigration don't care what you got in your bank. They just want to make sure that you got money coming in every month that's more than 100, that's higher than 125% for the green card. So April Flower, you are good. Gina Paula, FR, ¿por qué ella nunca? Question from Gina: Why doesn't Karina speak? And but she is very pretty and very nice, Diego. Well, thank you, Gina. She is, and she doesn't. Karina is like the silent warrior. Okay, she's a silent warrior. Okay, she listens more than she speaks, unless I'm watching a movie that I want to watch, and then she speaks more than she listens. Right? I'm kidding. Okay, let's see here. Bud Garcia, today I did an inquiry to the NVC because it's been 110 days. Yeah, you should have heard something. It took 119 days for me to get the NVC welcome letter for Karina's process to continue. 119 days. And I sent an inquiry after 119 days, and then they responded to me right away. Francois Livingston in upstate New York. Good evening, Diego and Karina from Diego's favorite state. Now, I like New York on vacation. I like the people of New York, okay, but the government not so much, because you guys get taxed and taxed and taxed. The government in New York seems to think they know how to spend your money better than you do, Mr. Private Citizen. I don't like that. If New Yorkers had more money in their pocket and less in the government's pocket, you guys would be doing great economically, right? Everybody would be staying in New York. They wouldn't be leaving and leave. Lots of people are leaving New York to come to Florida, because here in Florida, you keep most of the money that you make. You make $100, okay? You keep $90. Some of it goes to sales tax, and some goes to the feds, but you don't pay any to the state. Let me see. Jacob Myers, yeah, got married, got our own place, filling out the adjustment of status this next month. Jacob, good job. Congratulations on getting married. Make sure you don't file the adjustment of status, okay, past April 1st. April 1st, the price goes up. April 1st, the green card application goes up in price. So get it done before April 1st, okay? So I'm glad you got your own place, Jacob. Now you can relax, get your green card process for your husband. Get everything going, man. Get it going, get it rolling. And let's see, Michael Q, it took only 8 months. NOA 1, May 11th, 2013. 2013? You mean 2023, right? And NOA 2, January 30th, 2024. So that took 8 months. Look how quickly, from NOA 1 to NOA 2, look how quickly the visa process is going right now. 8-9 months is what I'm seeing. 8-9 months. And let me see here. I don't want to miss, but LK, my fiance's interview is on February 2nd. That would be like in 2 days. En 2 días, señora, face to face. Excuse the interview. 2 days. All right, LK, don't worry, your fiance's got it, okay? James Wright, good evening, mates. What's up, James? And how's everything in your neck of the woods? How's your family, James? Michael Q, now, will the welcome letter send to my fiance or to me here in the States? It goes to you in the United States, Michael Q. You're in control of this K-1 visa process, okay? You're in control of it. Magley, hello, Diego and Karina. Magley, what's going on? And Francois is giving a congratulations shout out to Michael Q. And Jacob just got his permit yesterday. Well, that's good. Today, we went down to the Social Security Administration and we applied for Karina's Social Security number. And they said it will be here in 2 weeks. And then they said to go back when she gets her green card and update the Social Security number. Okay? Because when you get a Social Security number under the I-94, you come in for 90 days, the Social Security number expires when the I-94 expires. Okay? So the secret is, go apply for the Social Security number, bring your I-94 form, bring your passport, bring your marriage certificate, and then when you get your green card, go back to the Social Security Administration and update everything. And they will go on the computer and say, oh, you're still here? Like Ferris Bueller. You're still here? You're still here? It's over. Go home. No. As soon as Karina gets her green card, we'll update her Social Security information. But in 2 weeks, she'll have her Social Security number. And let's see. So Jacob, he got his permit yesterday. Okay, so everybody stay off the roads in Colorado. If you live in Denver, Colorado, I think that's where Jacob lives. Stay off the roads because his husband just got his driver's license. I'm kidding, Jacob. I'm kidding with you. Magley, I received the packet 3 from the embassy in Paris. There you go. There you go. France a week ago and filed the DS-160 and paid the visa fee. Unfortunately, there's no appointment for the interviews before July 26th. Okay, if there is an appointment, Magley, on July 26th of 2024, please get that appointment. Take that appointment, jump in there, and take that appointment. Okay, if there's a slot open for July 26th, take the July 26th. Oh, Magley continues with it. Magley continues. So I took the spot and swallowed my cries of despair. Now, Magley, come on now. You got a spot, right? You got a visa appointment. You took a spot. Somebody else is going to be trying to get a spot, but you have it. You got it. And July will be here very soon. It's going to be here, okay? And so good job, Magley. I'm getting the in Paris at the U.S. Embassy in Paris, France. Good job on getting that visa interview spot. It's a good job. Bud Garcia, how long after the welcome letter will the packet 3, packet 4 get to you? Probably 2 to 3 weeks. Lamin Jabang, hi Diego, how are you? We're good. We're fine. Okay, my K1 visa is ready here in the United States, in Louisville. Thank you. Okay, so let me get this straight. You filed your K1 visa to Louisville, Texas, and you got your NOA1 letter. Is that what happened? I'm trying to figure it out. Lamin Jabang. Your K1 visa is ready here in the United States, in Louisville. Okay. Magley, June 26th. Oh, June. You said July 26th. So it's June 26th. That's not long. That's in the summer. I mean, come on. That's not much time. That gives you guys can go and have a little vacation together in Paris and hang out. All right. Francois Livingston, Diego, do the fees increase? Does the fee increase apply to just K1 application fee and green card? Or does it apply to everything? Everything. The green card, the visa fees are going up for everybody, for every kind of visa, every possibility. If there's a visa that is created by the U.S. government somewhere, that visa fee is going up on April 1st. I only talked about K1s and green cards and spousal visas and family visas because that's what I know how to do. I'm not an immigration attorney, guys. I don't work for USCIS. I don't work for the State Department. I give you zero legal advice, nothing, zero. But I know how to process K1 visas. This is, I got 9 years of having to wade through the immigration stress bucket. And here we are. Karina made it to America. We got married. And today we got her Social Security card on the way. It takes about 2 weeks. When she gets her green card, we'll go back to the Social Security office and update her information. I got my green card. They're going to go in the computer and say, okay, Karina's a permanent resident. Let me see here. So, Francois, to answer your question, all visa fees went up in price April 1st. All visa fees. Okay. I meant did the biometric, and yeah, the biometric fees went up in price. Yeah, absolutely. Let me see here. Magley, June 26th for the interview in Paris. Francois, sorry for the typo. You're good, Francois. And Huda. Hi, Diego and Karina. How are you? We're good. Good. We're good, man. We're good, Huda. Question, what is the processing time for the adjustment of status? 4 to 6 months, somewhere in there. Do you think it's going to take a lot of time? Probably, yeah. It's going to take more time than you want because you want it like tomorrow. I would rather have Karina's green card in her hand right now. 40 years ago, 30 years ago, 20 years ago, when you applied for a green card, you got it in 2 weeks. 40 years ago, you got your green card. It was an indefinite green card. It was good forever. You didn't get a 2-year green card. You didn't get a 10-year green card. You got an indefinite one. But somebody in the government decided to change the process. And here we are in this new process. Now it's good for 2 years and then 10 years. But in 3 years, Karina's going to be a U.S. citizen. So we're not going to worry about it. We're not even going to worry about any more immigration paperwork once she becomes a citizen. Bud Garcia, do you have any idea on the wait time for the interview in Bangkok? It's about 2 months, Bud. It's about a 2 month wait. I know it changes all the time. It does, but in January it's about 2 months. In February it could be quicker. Everything changes tomorrow, guys. Okay, and in immigration, things basically change in the middle of the month, not on the first of the month. So everything basically gets updated in the middle of the month, the 15th of January, the 15th of February, the 15th of March. That's when they basically get the new numbers and the new times, okay? But I never paid attention to any of it at all. When USCIS told me in California it's going to take 18 months for Karina to get her K-1 visa adjudicated, and it only took 13 and a half months, then there's a big disparity there. So I don't even pay attention to what the NVC numbers are. It's irrelevant. I mean, they're not right most of the time anyway. Magley, thank you. My situation changed since I felt that the DS-160, I have a new work and I'll visit new countries. That's okay. The DS-160 can't be updated, and I'm worried it will be a problem at the interview. No, it won't. It's not a problem. If you fill out your DS-160, you submit it. Okay, you get your confirmation page. Okay, if you go to visit a different country after you submitted the DS-160, you go on vacation somewhere. Keep the boarding passes of the place you went to visit. Keep the plane tickets. When you go to your visa interview, say, hey, when I filled out my DS-160, I hadn't been here before, but I went to this country on vacation. I changed my job, and they really couldn't care less if you change your job at all. They don't care, because you're going to be leaving Paris, France, right? And coming to the United States to live and work here. So if you change your job, they don't care. But if you went on vacation to another country, after you filed the DS-160, bring your boarding passes to the visa interview and go, hey, I went on vacation to Germany for a week, or here's my bus ticket. I mean, in Europe, if you're in Europe, you don't have to, it's the European Union, right? You don't need any visas to go between Germany and France and whatever. You don't need visas. You just drive across the border. There's nothing. There's no immigration check. But if you leave Europe and go to another country, keep those boarding passes, okay? So don't worry, Magley. Quit stressing. You've got this. Just be honest with the immigration attorney. Just, hey, I went on vacation. Okay, here's my boarding passes. I'm sorry, I already submitted my DS-160 and I hadn't planned to go here. But here I went there, and here's my evidence. And they'll go, okay, did you have a good vacation? They'll ask you, how was your vacation? Huda, okay, we applied also for the work permit. That's fine. If his work permit also takes time for K-1 visa, or it's fast. It's just as slow as getting the green card. Okay. You're talking about the EAD document, the employment authorization document. Takes time. It's a little quicker than the green card, okay, but it takes time. So be patient. Hang in there. Furious Ram, hey Diego, we got approved after the interview in Morocco. Whoa, that's good news, because Morocco, Furious Ram, Morocco, the embassy in Morocco is tough. They're a tough embassy to crack, okay? So you had a fantastic K-1 visa that you put together for your beneficiary. You put together a fantastic K-1 visa package, totally filled with evidence of your relationship, phone chats, pictures, everything. You did good. Good job. Bud Garcia, I'm just trying to prepare myself and my mind prepare. Yeah, I went through it. I know what you're going through, Bud. I know exactly what you're going through. I went through it. I've been through it twice. It's not easy. And Karina is right here, beautiful Karina. She's like kicked back, chilling out. She had a good day. We went to the beach. She waded in the water. She got to wade in the Gulf of Mexico. We ate this very expensive fish sandwich. I was like, what the heck? We bought these sandwiches, these fish sandwiches with a smoothie. And I'm thinking I think it was like it's like equivalent to a car payment. I'm like, what the heck? In Bogota, Colombia, I could take Karina out to eat and get her a big steak dinner, like for $3.50, $3.50 $4 if you include a drink. Here it's crazy. The prices are are absolutely crazy, guys. Anyway, let's see here. Let's keep going with the K1 visas. And Bud Garcia, relax, okay? Just relax your mind. Stay calm. When you get stressed out, that's when you make stupid mistakes, right? Stay calm. Look at Karina. She's chilling out. And Camille 1. Hi, Diego and Karina from Boston, Massachusetts. How is everything up there? How's your family? Camille 1. Magli 1. Magli. I plan to go to Kenya and Egypt too, so I'll keep the boarding passes and everything, proving it was a planned tour with an agency. There you go. And also make sure you prove that you filed the trip through a travel agency. I'm sure you've got email communications with the travel agency. You've got the plans for the trip and everything, right? Print all those plans with the travel agency and bring them to the visa interview. You got it? USCIS, immigration, NVC, the embassy, they don't care if you take a vacation. Just let them know that you did, okay? They want to know what countries you went to because for security reasons, okay? It's security reasons, that's all. And Bud Garcia congratulates Furious Ram. Morocco's that's a tough embassy, guys. I've seen like 5 visa denials in Morocco in 2023. 5. I'm like, that's crazy. I had U.S. senators checking into that. I didn't know what was going on. So I had some of my friends in Washington look at that embassy in Morocco. Let's see here. So yeah, there you go, Magli. No problem. I'll give you the right advice. I'll tell you the right path to walk down so you don't make a mistake. And Magli is congratulations to everyone who got approved and reunited with their loved ones. Magli, that's good. Not much longer and you'll be in that same boat, reunited also. Chuck Norris, hey Diego, you guys should head to the Dominican Republic when Karina is all set with her process. In the Dominican Republic, they mention you a lot. Whoa, we're famous in the Dominican Republic, Karina. They mention us a lot in the Dominican Republic. They see your videos and have success stories because of you. Well, it's because of you guys too, all right? If I can help you get a K1 visa approved, the main thing is to reunite families. I want to see families reunited. I don't like to see families separated from each other. I don't care what country it is, Dominican Republic or wherever, but in the Dominican Republic, we love our friends over there. I've made lots of videos about success stories from the Dominican Republic, and I can't wait for you guys in the Dominican Republic who are engaged to Americans. Come to the United States when Karina is a U.S. citizen. When she has an American passport, we will go to the Dominican Republic for a vacation. We're going to do some traveling, okay? We'll go visit some of these countries that we've helped people get their visas, like in Africa. England, we're going to go to England. We'll go to the Dominican Republic. We'll go say hi to people. We'll go shake hands with families who said goodbye to their loved ones so they could come to America. And we love the Dominican Republic. And Jacob Wisdom, hello Diego and Karina from Jamaica. What's going on, Jacob, in Jamaica? I've flown over Jamaica so many times, going to visit Karina. When I fly from Miami or Houston, I used to fly over Jamaica all the time. I used to fly at night and I see all the lights on, and it would go dark when you're over the ocean. And then the lights would come back when you fly over an island. Furious Ram is thanking Bud Garcia. Hey, Diego, Furious Ram speaking here. Hi, Diego. How long till the visa is in his passport? When should we book his flight to America? The secret is right here. I can't tell you how long it's going to take to get the visa in the passport because the workload at the embassies, they change day by day, week by week. But I will tell you this, do not buy a plane ticket one way to the United States of America until you have looked at that visa and checked it and there's no spelling mistakes in it. when Karina, we both went, we were in Bogota, Colombia. We went downtown Bogota. It's near the biometrics where we had the biometrics. Well, Karina had her biometrics, not me. They yelled at me for going into the biometrics because I'm an American waiting on Karina. They said, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm waiting for my fiance." "Well, you got to wait outside. This is for biometrics." I said, "Okay, I'll wait over here." And I sat down on these chairs where Colombians were getting visas to go to Australia. And they come and harass me over there. "Why are you sitting here?" I'm waiting for my, and then Karina came out and got her biometrics. Don't buy a plane ticket. And then when we went to pick up Karina's K1 visa, I opened up the passport, and I'm right there in the office. I didn't go in. I said, we'll stay right here. And I looked at it. And I said, "Okay, your name is spelled correctly. Okay, your date of birth is correct. Everything's good." Boom, closed it back up. And I said, "All right, now let's go buy plane tickets." Then we went to Avianca, downtown Bogota, in the airport, El Dorado. We got in this long line. Her K1 visa is still kind of, wet in her passport. We got in this line in El Dorado airport, and I bought 2 plane tickets, direct one way from Bogota to Miami. That's how it works. Looked at the visa. Visa's good. Went to El Dorado, jumped on the Transmilenio, and bought the plane tickets. Don't buy your plane tickets until you have seen the visa in the passport and there's no mistakes. Okay? Because it's easy to fix a typo in a K1 visa. It's easy. You see a mistake, boom. Go to the embassy and say, "Hey, I need, I'll call the embassy. There's a mistake and they'll fix it for you." All right? But I've only seen one error in a K1 visa over the year we've been doing this channel. I've only seen one mistake, and we got it fixed for the person, and they fixed it. And I explained to them how to do it. I explained the process, how to get the typo fixed, because the K1 visa, the name has to match the name in the passport. Because when you apply for the green card, you're going to put a photo. You're going to take a copy of the K1 visa, a copy of the biographic page of the passport, and they got to match. Okay. So don't buy any plane tickets till you have looked at the K1 visa and it's no errors on it. Furious Ram. Let me see. So that was for Furious Ram. Justin Anderson, what's your opinion on the spousal visa versus the K1? The spousal visa is a headache. It's a nightmare. Okay. I went through a spousal visa. And if you make one mistake uploading any documents to the National Visa Center, when you go through a spousal visa, you're at the mercy of the National Visa Center, not the embassy. The National Visa Center is going to make you upload documents to them, okay, into the SEAC system. You got to upload passports, the biographic page, birth certificates, translations, your W-2s, your 1040s, your tax transcripts, your photos from your relationship. So if you make a mistake, like when I was going through the spousal visa, I uploaded the passport with my passport. There's my passport. There was her passport. I said, that's easy. We'll put them together, and it's easy to fit. Immigration didn't like that. Diego, you're going to have to change that. You're going to have to re-upload your passport by itself and your beneficiary's passport by herself. I'm like, okay, no big deal. Boom, I did it. Okay, I fixed the problem. It took them 3.5 months to go back and look at my spousal visa. I lost 3.5 months of time because they didn't like the way I uploaded the passports to the National Visa Center. And then they sent me an email saying, I can't read you didn't sign the I-130. I'm like, yes, I did. I signed it, but they said I didn't sign it. But I did sign it. Okay. So I re-signed it, a brand new form, because the other one had expired, I believe. And I re-uploaded it. It took them 3 more months to look at that. A spousal visa is a pain in the butt. Okay, it's a pain in the back, and it's a massive headache. You got to get documentarily qualified before it goes to the next step at the embassy, and then they schedule the interview for you. All right. In a K1 visa,
You put your K-1 visa package together. You mail it to Louisville, Texas. They get it. They cash the check. They make sure you didn't spell the U.S. Department of Homeland Security wrong on the check. They cash the check. They make sure you sign the I-129F. They send it to Texas or California or Nebraska, mostly to California. Then it sits on a shelf in California, right? For now, it's only about 8 months. They get it. They look at it. They adjudicate it. They approve it. They send it to the National Visa Center. National Visa Center gets it. They look at it. No mistakes. Okay. They assign you a case number. They call the embassy, let's say Bogota, and say, hey, you guys busy? No. Boom. They mail the visa to the embassy in Bogota or the consulate in Mumbai or Bangkok, Thailand, or Paris, France, or London, England, or whatever. It's easy. It's easy. A spousal visa is you're at the mercy of the National Visa Center. Okay? I don't like that. I want to get this thing done. And the K-1's much quicker. It's much quicker. So you're thinking about doing the spousal visa. Okay. My fiance is in Colombia. I have been to see her a few times there. What are the estimated wait times? Well, a spousal visa, Justin, is a pain. Okay. Where are you going to get married? In Colombia? You're going to get married in Colombia, right? So now you're at the mercy of the Colombian government. You got to get all these documents apostilled. You got to find a notary that's going to marry you in Colombia. You got to find a notary. Okay. Got to look, hey, will you marry me? I'm American. I want to marry my Colombian prometida. No, I'm not going to do it. You go to another notary. Hey, I want to get married. Will you? No, I'm not going to do it. And then you finally find a notary. Okay, I'll do it, but you got to pay it this much money. Pay me more. Give me some more money. Okay. You get married in Colombia. You're at the mercy of the Colombian government. Okay. If there's any kids involved, you got to give an itemized list of everything you own in your house, because that will go to the kids who are Colombian, and the Colombian government will have a record of it. Getting married in Colombia is not easy to do. Okay. You can do it, but it's not easy to do. And then what if something happens in the future? Okay. You don't, let's say worst case scenario, you get a divorce in America. She comes to the United States. You're going to have to, it's much easier to do a K-1 visa, come to America, get married, and get it done. Spousal visa, I don't recommend it. I'm not saying you shouldn't do it. I'm not saying it's not a bad thing. It's not a bad. Getting married in Colombia is probably fantastic. It's a great idea if you can find a notary that'll do it. So that's my opinion, okay? And then it's a much slower process to get the IR1. Let me see here. I hope that helps you with that question. Michael Q, Diego, you keep skipping message. Please, can you go up and give me an answer? Michael Q, I'm not skipping messages. I answer everything. I don't see it. Where is it? It's not here. I answer everybody's question. There's no question from you. I don't see it. Okay? So repeat the question for me, okay? Because I don't see the question. I don't miss anybody's questions, guys. I'm looking, and I don't see it. Let me keep going with the questions here. Justin, file the K-1 visa, get married in the United States. It's a pain doing a spousal visa. It's not fun, okay? It's not easy. It's harder to do. And Michael Q, I don't see your question. Repeat it for me, and I'll be glad to answer it, okay? Because I don't see it. It didn't show up in the stream. ECAS, hi Diego. Earlier you told me my visa has been approved. Can you give me a little bit of explanation? Well, you told me that it was approved. You said you got a message and that you opened it up. You opened up the message and it says visa approved. I'm just repeating back to you what immigration told you. Okay. And just if you have got an approval, that overrides anything else in that message traffic on your 221G. Okay. You're good. Immigration said you got an approved visa, then you're good. New foul, Mr. Diego, something happened to me unexpected from my adjustment of status. So what happened is they returned all of my paperwork stating to me that they could not cash out money from my bank account. Well, you got to have money in your bank.
If you write a check to U.S. Department of Homeland Security, okay, and the bank wouldn't pay them, then where was the money at? That's the first I've ever heard that. You got to have money in your bank to pay something, right? Do you have money in there, or why not use your credit card? You can pay with a credit card. So they sent everything back to you, stating to me they could not cash out the money from my bank account. Okay? Use your credit card. Fill out the form for the credit card and go that route. Or write another check and repeat everything and make sure there's enough money in your bank to cover the cost. Unless immigration, I don't know, maybe the bank wouldn't pay out. Maybe the bank thought it was a fraud. They were protecting you. Okay? Put it on your credit card. That's crazy. I've never heard of a bank not paying out on a bill that somebody paid. JTR3, if you have a question, what if your fiance is pregnant with your child? What do you do in that situation? Let me see here. So pregnant with a child, what do you do in that situation? Well, I want to do the K1 visa, but what else do I do to bring the baby over? Well, if you have a baby born overseas, the baby is a U.S. citizen, okay? So what you do is your beneficiary has to register the child as a U.S. citizen at the U.S. Embassy in the home country, okay? So what country we talk, Mr. Newfound, what country? Let me see here. JTR3, what country are we talking about? Laos, okay, Laos. Okay, Laos. Okay, go to your beneficiary has to go to the U.S. Embassy, in Laos. Register your baby as a U.S. citizen. Get your baby a IMBRA certificate as an American citizen. Okay, I think that's what it's called, a CRBR. It's not IMBRA. It's a CRBRA certificate off the top of my head, and then get your baby a U.S. passport. And then when you file the K1 visa, okay, you will include your child as a U.S. citizen on the paperwork, not as a K2. Okay, if you have a child overseas, the baby's an American citizen, they don't need a K2 visa. Okay, they don't need one. They need a passport, an American citizen passport. So, it's easy. Get the baby registered as an American citizen, get the baby a passport, and then file the K1 visa, include your baby in the K1 visa as a U.S. citizen, not as a K2. Okay, so your baby's a dependent. You're going to put your baby on the I-134 as a dependent, as your dependent. So you're good. It's not, it's just a little bit of paperwork, that's all. And the best way to avoid this problem is to give them a money check. Money order. Yeah, write a money order. Okay? Write a money order to the U.S. Department of Homeland Security, and that covers it. Chris and Emil. Hi, guys. I hope you have a good day today. We had a great day. It was fantastic. Karina gets her Social Security number in 2 weeks. Then we just got to update her record at the Social Security Administration when she gets her green card. New foul. So my question is now, would it be free for I-765 form to be submitted with the paperwork that I have to return to immigration people that they have already reviewed? Okay, new foul. If immigration returned back to you your entire package plus the check, okay, it's not free because they didn't cash the check. They didn't take your money. So you got to re-put the package together, put all the package back together again like it's supposed to be, and get a money order and pay with a money order. Go to the post office and buy a money order for $1,225. I think it would be for one person for your beneficiary, unless you got kids included. Okay, it's not free. You got to resend the money plus the green card application. And Larry Piercy says, "Sorry, I'm late." Come on, Larry, you're not late. You're never late, man. And I still got plenty of Mountain Dew, thanks to Larry. Justin Anderson, I think you have convinced me not to go that route. You make some good points. Okay, I've been there and done that, Justin. I've been through that. I've been there and done that. Okay, I've been in Colombia. I've seen the process to get married in Colombia. It's a nightmare. Okay, if you can find a notary that will marry you, that's the first secret. And then you gotta notify the Colombian government of everything you own and everything that belongs to you. And you got to jump through all these bureaucracies. And then you get married. Okay, then you come to America on the spousal visa, and then you got to upload all these wedding documents in Spanish. You got to translate them into English. It's just a nightmare. Just get a K1, bring her over here from Colombia, and get married. Okay, it's so much easier. It's much easier to do that. Alejandro Ray, hey Diego and Karina, how's everything going up there? We're good. We're good. So happy to see you all together. I tell you what, man, I'm so glad that we're together. Okay, after waiting almost 2 years. Let's see. Let me see. I don't want to miss anybody. I have my medical appointment on the February 14th, and I was wondering how long did that take for Karina? All day. It's an all day thing. We waited 4 or 5 hours just on the 9th floor of the medical building in Bogota. You know, I was running out of battery on my phone. I'm like, man, I'm running out. I'm bored. I'm just like looking at my phone, and my battery was running out. So I took videos from the 9th floor of the medical department. It's an all day thing. Chuck Norris, let's see. Michael Q is, let me see, what are they saying? Michael Q is a troll. Okay. Chuck Norris, Michael Q is a troll. He's just joking. He's done that in the past in your lives. Okay. Well, you know, the First Amendment is pretty good on this channel. I don't like to, you know, block anybody, but if they stop posting bad information, or if they say anything nasty about you guys, then they're gone. I'll boot them off the channel. So thanks for the update on Michael Q. We'll see what else he has to say, right? And then we'll decide what we can do with him. Chris and Emil, April 1st, 2024, green card is standpoint cost. I made a video, Chris and Emil. I just made a video on how much it's going to cost to get a green card starting April 1st, 2024. Okay? I just made a video about it. Let's see here. One second, guys. I'm just paging up to make sure I didn't miss anybody's questions. All right? I don't want to miss anybody. And boom, there we go. Doing this YouTube is a lot of fun, right? You guys are learning a lot from the channel. You're not learning anything. The goal of this channel is that you learn stuff. Okay, you learn how to do a K1 visa. You learn how to do a green card. I'm going to save you all of the headaches that I went through, and I made some mistakes on my first time around. Okay. Including not getting married in Colombia. I learned not to do that. Let me see. Norfell, I called my bank. They told me write a check and not a credit. Okay, so you used your credit card and you had a typo. You transposed a number on your credit card and the credit card number wouldn't process. So you made a mistake. It's the only way it could happen is if you made a typo. It is what it is. Okay, just write a check then. JTR3, thank you. Okay. ECAS, end of my interview today, I have received 3 letters. 1, 221G, 2 small white pieces of paper saying your visa has been approved. Okay. And last they gave me another paper, IMBA, but my status says refused. Okay, your status will say refused until you get the issue status. When you get the issued status, right now you're at approval. You're going to wait now for issue. When you get the issue status, that's when you can go pick up your visa, and then it will say then that refusal statement will go away. Okay, it's going to disappear up into the sky. Okay, so relax. You got an approved visa. You're waiting for the issued status. Larry and Piercy, so you and Karina have decided to get your Social Security first, then apply for the green card. Yeah, I got it today. But it's only good until her I-94 terminates, okay? If we got her Social Security number today, it's going to be here in 2 weeks, but it will be put into a holding queue, a timeout queue, until she gets her green card. And then we'll go back to the Social Security office with her green card, and then they will update her Social Security account. But you can do it either way. But now with the Social Security number, in 2 weeks, I can put her on the bank information, which I can then put in the green card application. Okay? New file. I submitted at first only form I-485. Now I want to return the paperwork with form 765 since they haven't issued me NOA-1. That's what I want to know, because I don't want to pay $400 for a work permit. You don't pay for a work permit when you apply for the green card. When you file for an adjustment of status, when you file for your green card, you can include in the green card application a form for the EAD, which is 765, your employment authorization document. I believe it's that one. I believe that's the form. Okay? Don't pay $400. It's $410, I think, for the work permit, but that's only if you apply after you file for the green card. So let's suppose you file for the green card, right? And then you decide, oh, I want to get a work permit. That's when you have to pay for it. I learned that mistake too. I've been there, done that. 2016, I gave USCIS $400 for free. Been there, done that. You can apply for the work permit for free in the green card application. Chris and Emma, my fiance has this issue with old case for MBI. She got hit with forgery on her name. She doesn't know who did it. She thinks that person has died. Philippines is so corrupt in the system. Okay, so somebody in the Philippines used your fiance's name in a forgery, and your fiance didn't do that. And is it showing up on a police certificate? But she didn't do it, right? Is this because it's popped up on a police certificate? Is that what you're telling me? But she didn't do it. She didn't do anything wrong. And the police cleared her, right? You got a police report that cleared her, said that she was not at fault, right? Just relax. Craig Williams, hello, Diego and Karina. I applied for the Social Security card along with the I-485. Okay. Can you please explain how to get the Social Security number in 2 weeks? Get your I-94 form, get your marriage certificate, get your passport, beneficiary's passport, go to the Social Security office, punch in, take a number, wait your turn, go to the window and say, hey, this is Karina. She's from Venezuela. She just got here. We got married. Here's the marriage certificate. Here's the I-94. Here's her passport. We'd like to apply for a Social Security number. The lady said, okay, no problem. Boom. She got her information uploaded in the computer. The lady said, okay, it's good until the I-94 expires. That's when the Social Security number will be put into a holding pattern. You then go back. We will then go back in the future with her green card to the Social Security office. They will then go in the computer and update her as a LPR, a legal permanent resident. It's that easy. But the Social Security number is only good for 90 days. But it will be on file at the Social Security Administration. She'll get a hard copy in the mail after 2 weeks, which you can use that to get a bank, put it on the bank, right? You need a Social Security number, right? It's 2 weeks in Florida. The lady said it's going to take 2 weeks. This is Florida. I don't know which state you live in. It could be different for somebody else. Chris and Emma, she's going to fight it off to show her proof that it isn't her that did it. Yeah. Is it showing up on a police certificate? Bud Garcia, what does the different color paper mean at the interview? White means you got an approval. Yellow means you got to fix something before they give you the K1 visa. Karina went to her visa embassy interview in Bogota, Colombia. They interrogated her for 20 minutes, asked her about 10 or 11 questions. They said, okay, your visa's approved. They gave her a white piece of paper that said, your visa's approved. They then gave her a yellow piece of paper that said, you got to get this Interpol police certificate. She said, okay. That's what it means. The yellow piece of paper is the 221G. And it says, well, your visa is currently denied until you get this paperwork. She had a white piece of paper that said it was approved. She had a yellow piece of paper that said it was denied. But her visa was approved. That overrides it, okay? Get the document, give it to the embassy, then wait for issue status. Karina got the Interpol police certificate. She emailed it to Bogota, the embassy in Bogota. I emailed it to the embassy in Bogota. And 2 days later, her visa was issued. We were picking it up. We went downtown and picked it up. It's that quick. They're just waiting on the paperwork. That's all. Relax. Let me see here. So Larry, you applied for the 485 and the 765 at the same time. That's correct. If you apply for the work permit after you file for the green card, it's like $410. So file at the same time, and you get the work permit for free. New file. I already did file for green card but they have returned the paperwork. Yeah, they couldn't cash the check. They couldn't process the credit card number. You messed up on the credit card number. Write a check and resend everything back to them. New file. So I can apply now for work permit for free, even though they have already reviewed my green card paperwork? Yes. New file. Resend your green card paperwork back to immigration. Include in your green card paperwork the paperwork for the EAD, the employment authorization document. Include, here's your green card package, right? This is your green card package. You got all the paperwork in there for your green card package. Include in the green card package your work permit request. And it's free. Don't apply for your work permit after you mail for the green card, because then you got to pay $410, I think it is. Learn how to do this smartly, okay? Go ahead, new file, and apply for your green card, plus include the work permit authorization paperwork in the green card application. And I just saved you $410. Chris and Emil, police certification is clear, but other systems she checked in is NBI in Manila. They're trying to make her pay the fine. I keep telling her no, that isn't her fault. I told her to show proof of ID. Okay, is it a very expensive fine? If it, is the Philippine police, is the Philippine government going to let your permittee to leave the Philippines with a fine that she allegedly has to pay? Why, if she didn't do it, fine. Okay. But you know how the Philippines operates, right? Right? Like Colombia, like Venezuela, like the United States, right? If she cannot leave, it's a very expensive fine. Okay. So the Philippine government is looking for some money. Will that give her a clean police record? If she pays the fine, will it clear her record? So you can get the police certificate, so you can get her to the United States, right? Just pay the fine, get her record cleared, and get her here. And then don't go back to the Philippines because of the way they treated you. I don't know. I mean, I love the Philippines myself. I mean, it's a beautiful country. So the people are beautiful. Sometimes governments are not so good, right? You said her police certificate is clear, but the other system she checked is NBI. I know what. Okay, that's in Manila, right? The National Bureau Investigation Office,
MBI in Manila. They're trying to make her pay a fine. I keep telling her, no, that isn't her fault. If she doesn't pay the fine, can she still leave the Philippines? If she can leave the Philippines without paying that fine, then don't pay the fine and just leave and say ciao, hasta luego. But if she cannot leave the Philippines until she pays that fine, pay the fine and get out of there. It's not going to affect your K-1 visa because her police certificate is free and clear, right? Immigration wants to look at the police certificate. What does it say on the police certificate? She's good, right? No problems. All you're trying to do now is find out if she doesn't pay the fine, can she still leave the Philippines? Well, the immigration in the Philippines, at the airport in Manila, will the immigration officer look in a computer and see that she owes a fine to the government and say, I'm sorry, you can't leave the Philippines. Is that the case? If that's not, I mean, Chris, let's see here. Larry Piercy, when you update, you keep the same social security number. Yes, absolutely. Oh, yeah, you keep the same number. They just want to see the green card. And then they will go in their computer and say, okay, Karina is now a legal resident of the United States. And that's all they do. They update it. They put, legal resident. Right now, she's on I-94, 90 days, right? Social Security Administration said, okay, we'll give you a social security number, but it's only good for 90 days. Okay, no problem. She goes back with her green card, and they go in there and update the record and say, okay, she's a legal permanent resident. Boom. Then it's good for 2 years, right? Then she'll go back when she's an American citizen, and it's good forever. And there's no more immigration paperwork. Let me see. Craig Williams, thank you. It helps with bank account and health insurance. Okay. Let me see. And in regards to Chris and Emil, if that fine is preventing her from leaving the Philippines, pay the fine, get it out, and just have it and tell them have it, and the Philippine government will clear it off the MBI. Let me see here. Kisem Kang, hi Diego and Karina, please can you tell me how many weeks or months do we have to wait for the MVC to send our case to the Algerian embassy? It all depends on how busy is the Algerian embassy. Yeah, the U.S. embassy. Man, you made me slip of the tongue there. The U.S. embassy in Algiers, right? If the U.S. embassy in Algeria is busy, okay, and the MVC won't send it to them until they get unbusy. But you're good. I mean, the embassy in Algeria, the U.S. embassy in Algeria, has been processing K-1 visas. Our friend Artur was from Algeria, and he's now living in Albuquerque, New Mexico. He got married and relocated to Albuquerque, and he's happy as a clam. I think it took him 7 weeks to get his visa interview. Furious Ram, hi Diego. The SEAC doesn't say approved; it says application received. But they gave him a paper saying approved and took his passport. Furious Ram, the visa's approved. They took his passport. Okay, now you're waiting for the issued status, so you can go pick up the visa in the passport. You're waiting for the issued status. If there's a 221G involved, just give them the paperwork they asked for in the 221G. In Karina's case, they asked for an Interpol police certificate. It took 4 weeks to get it. We finally got it. I emailed it to the embassy in Bogota, and they said, okay. It went from approved to issued. Boom. Then we went downtown and picked it up. It was that easy. Khmer 1, they said 2 weeks, but you will receive in 1 week. Okay. That's even better. Newfowl, thank you so much, Mr. Diego. God bless you and your wife. Well, thank you, Newfowl. We're gonna get you through this process, guys, without stressing it out. And Chris and Emma, it's a very expensive fine. The government is so corrupt. Well, in the United States of America, our founding fathers knew that people were corrupt. So they wrote the Constitution to prevent people from making stupid decisions and bad mistakes that would hurt our country and hurt the people of this country.
That's why we have a constitution and the amendments to the constitution. Okay? But do governments follow the constitution? No, they don't. Well, so what happens when a president of the United States doesn't follow the constitution? He gets sued in federal court. All right? It happened before, and the people won because the constitution is stronger than any one person. Ross Lee, hola Diego and Karina. Karina, esa pregunta, a question for Karina. Que lavo para la cita, the appointment.
De las huellas. Pasaporte, solo el pasaporte. Y
for the biometrics?
Sí, y
DS-160.
Y la planilla de.
Okay, for the Ross Lee asked a question about the biometrics. You bring your passport and your DS-160, and that's it. Nothing else. That's all you need. Kristen Emil, she is having someone knows that works in that MBR have that file pulled. Okay, whatever you can do to get it fixed, get it done. She won't find out until Friday since she has proof of approved K1 visa by my status. Okay. You're good, Chris and Emil. You guys are going to get your K1 in Manila, and then you're going to be flying to America very soon. Bud Garcia, have you got Karina on TRICARE? How hard is it to do? It's not hard to do. We drove all the way to the military base today to put her on TRICARE. She had her passport, K1 visa, marriage certificate, I-94, and they said, we need 2 forms of ID. I said, you got an I-94, you got her passport, you got the K1 visa, you got a marriage certificate. What else do you need? We need her birth certificate. So I drove 40 miles, okay, and they wouldn't put her in DEERS without her birth certificate translated into English. Okay, so we drove all the way back home. So now I've driven 80 plus miles, got her birth certificate and the original plus the translation that we used for the embassy, went all the way back to the military base, and it was closed because the computers were down. So we made 2 trips to put her in TRICARE and couldn't do it today because, number one, the government changed their procedures requiring 2 forms of ID instead of 1. And number 2, we went all the way back there, and globally, TRICARE was down. I'm like, seriously? So I drove 130 miles for nothing. But we got our Social Security card processed. So we're good. We made some progress. We advanced a little bit. So now we're going to have to drive all the way back there, okay, when the computers are back up and running. So I'm going to call them this time and say, hey, are you guys working today, or did somebody unplug the computers so you could have a 3-day weekend? What's going on? Let me see. So it's not hard to put your beneficiary on TRICARE, but you must bring 2 forms of ID: her birth certificate translated into English, her passport, the visa, the marriage certificate. That's what you need to get enrolled in DEERS, okay? So hopefully I saved you a massive headache that we went through today. So we went to the beach. It's not hard, Bud Garcia, to get on TRICARE. But you got to be married and you got to have 2 forms of ID. Ramblin' Man, Kaya Dan, my K1 was approved by USCIS on December 28th. I just got in transit email from the NVC to Manila. This is going faster than I thought. I said it was going to speed up, right? Manila's process and keep visa is pretty good, but you got to be prepared at the medical exam for the possibility of a sputum test, okay? Just be prepared for that. Furious Ram, when do you do the biometrics and what is it exactly? Well, when you pay the visa fee, you fill out the DS-160, or your beneficiary does. You can help her with it. You then go in to a calendar that says, what day do you want to do biometrics? And I clicked on November 9th. And then they said, what day do you want to have your visa interview? And I clicked on November 16th, 2023. Boom. I got those 2. I got 2 emails from the U.S. Embassy in Bogota. I said, okay, your biometrics appointment is on this day at this location, and your K1 visa interview is on this day at this time at this location. And I'm like, great, okay. I put them in my file folder of Karina's stuff. And then I flew to Bogota, Colombia with the information. And the biometrics is basically fingerprints, boop, and a photo of your face. Because when you travel through airports now globally, pretty much, like in Bogota, Colombia, for example, they're not doing so much the stamping of the immigration stamps anymore. They're not doing a face-to-face chat with you. They're taking a picture of your face for the biometrics that goes in a computer in their database, and they can tell who you are. Okay? So if you're traveling back and forth to Bogota, Colombia, you want to make sure you can get a visa stamp in your passport as evidence that you entered the country for your K1 visa or, for your visa interview. So I'm glad things are speeding up. The biometrics is fingerprints and a photo of the face. Ross Lee Diego, the silver register that Melissa has is from 2022. Does she need to get a new one issued or not? The civil registrar, the civil registry. What are we talking about? Are we talking about police certificates? Are we talking about what do you mean? The registro civil? Is that a police certificate? And it was issued in 2022. So if it's a police certificate, you need to get a new one. Yes, got to get a new one of those because it's 2 years old. Let me see. Magli, Diego, you have the patience of a saint. Yeah, I just went through 2 years almost waiting for Karina to get here. And then I finally get her here. And then I go to put her on her health insurance, military health. And they said, oh, you got to have 2 forms of ID. I said, when did that change? They said, oh, we changed the process like 5 years ago. I said, well, what? Did you tell anybody? Have you notified anybody? Or are you just giving people a hard time when they show up to put their family members on the health insurance? So I drove 130 miles today, but we got Karina's social security number coming to the house. So that's good. So today wasn't so bad. Although I did spend a lot of money on fish sandwiches. That was a big ripoff, I tell you, but it was fun, right? It was a good time. But what a ripoff. I mean, I can buy the same thing in Bogota for, $5, $6. Rambling Man. I sent her to get a pre-medical today to test for TB. It's a huge problem in the Philippines. Okay, good idea. Good plan. I like the way you think, Rambling Man. Chris and also she went to China in 2023, beginning of February for 2 weeks for her work tourist visa. Okay. They didn't even say anything to her in Manila. I'm just confused. Just pay the fine and get her on a plane to the United States when she gets her K1 visa. How much is the fine? It can't be that much for the Philippines, right? And why would she go to China? Why would anybody want to go to China? It's it's a communist country. You go to, who wants to go there? I wouldn't. I don't ever want to go to China. I want to go to free countries, not communist countries. To our friends in China watching the channel, okay, I love you guys, but your government sucks. Let's see here. Bud Garcia, can she use her Thai driver's license as an ID? Yes, as long as it's in English and then they can read it. Absolutely. It's got to be in English. They got to be able to read it. Okay. If it's in Thai, you got to get it translated into English. Furious Ram, we did not get the biometrics. We did the interview. It was approved. What do I do now? Morocco. Well, then you'll get the biometrics done in the United States. If your visa was approved, get your K1 visa, get the passport, get on a plane to America, and then file for the green card. Okay. When you file for the green card, you will get a letter in the mail saying you have to do your biometrics in the United States. You're going to end up doing biometrics one way or another. Apparently in Morocco, they didn't do it. Just don't bring it up. Get your visa, make sure the name's spelled right, and get out of Morocco and get to America, and then file for the green card.
Magley, when I logged on the embassy website and took the appointment for the interview, they didn't mention anything about biometrics. Can't be done at the interview if it's approved. Magley, what, you're in France? You're in Paris, right? Maybe they don't do biometrics there. Okay, call the embassy and find out. Call the embassy in Paris and ask them, do you guys need biometrics for the visa? Because when I filed for Karina, when I paid Karina's visa fee, okay, and helped her with the DS-160, a calendar popped up for biometrics and a calendar popped up for the visa interview. I just took the biometrics date and then the visa interview. The same thing should have happened in Paris and in Morocco, in France and in Morocco. But if it doesn't show up, if there's no way to know about it, call the embassy and ask them. But Magley, if you get a K1 visa approved and it's in your passport, get on the plane out of Paris and come to America, file for the green card, and then you will have to do biometrics here in the United States, okay? You have to do it here. Rambling Man, I don't have my 2023 taxes done yet. Okay, use your 2022. What other than tax transcripts and W-2 pay stubs can I use? Your 2022 tax transcripts, W-2s, and pay stubs. You don't have to, if you have a visa interview that's April 15th and greater, you're supposed to have had your taxes done by April 15th, right? Isn't it April 15th the cutoff date for filing your federal tax return, right? You're not going to get a tax transcript for your 2023 tax return because it takes them 3 or 4 months to create it. Okay, so if your visa interview is between now and April 14th of 2024, bring your 2022 tax returns to the visa interview. Okay, if you do your 2023 taxes, like I'm going to do my taxes probably next month and include them in the green card application, I'm not going to be able to get a tax transcript, but I'm going to make a copy of the 1040, my 1099s, and the check when I pay Uncle Sam his money so that we can keep funding all this ridiculous stuff that they keep buying, with our tax money. So, use your 2022 taxes, okay? Relax, guys. Ross Lee, the Register of Civil, is what she was able to get as a birth certificate. Oh, okay. Now I understand. Okay. Well, that's fine. And it doesn't have an expiration date. A birth certificate doesn't have an expiration date. Get it if it's in a foreign language, get it translated into English. But you're good with that. Chris and Emma, I told her not to go back. You told her not to go back. Okay. Kisam King, I don't know if the MVC in New Hampshire is processing K1 faster, or they all about the same. The MVC are at the mercy of the U.S. embassies and the U.S. consulates all around the world. Okay. The National Visa Center does not control the processing time. The embassies do. So let's say Ghana, for example. Ghana's taken 6 months or longer to get a K1 visa interview. Okay? Ghana's taken 6 months or longer to get a K1. The MVC is going to hold your K1 visa at the MVC until the embassy gets slots free to open. So the MVC don't control how fast. It's the embassies that control how fast you can get a visa interview, not on a K1 visa. Okay? But Garcia, okay, thank you very much. No worries. And GLK Doggo 1, hey Diego, I'm still waiting for the embassy to send me my passport. But I entered today and said it was updated, but still no answer. Okay, give him time. Give him time. Take the patience pill. Francois Livingston, good night. Catch you all next live chat. Okay, Francois, hang in there. Have a great night. Kiss Sam Kang, I see now. I understand. Thank you so much. Did I just enlighten you? Have I opened up? Did I shine a spotlight on something that was in the dark? It was all dark. And now I put a light on it, and then you figured it out, right? You're good.
Craig Williams, are foreign drivers allowed to drive with different license? Enterprise told me it's good in New Jersey. What do you think? Well, I don't know about New Jersey. I mean, every state has their own rules, but here's the deal, right? In the United States of America, generally, you got to drive with a U.S. driver's license if you are a legal permanent resident, okay? If you are a tourist in the United States of America, you can drive on your international driver's license, okay? You can do that. But if you have filed for a green card, you are now in the process of becoming a legal permanent resident. So what you're going to do is, I'm sure you can probably drive on an international driver's license, on a foreign driver's license. But when you get your green card in your hand, you are no longer a tourist or a in-house waiting for a green card person. You are now a legal permanent resident of the United States of America, and you must now get a United States driver's license, US. That's in Florida. Okay, I don't know about New Jersey. California, who knows about California? In California, they do whatever they want. I guess. I don't know. But normally, you cannot drive in the United States, okay, on a foreign driver's license if you are a green card holder. When I was in Colombia, Bogota, Colombia, I was allowed to drive on my Florida driver's license as a tourist. When the Colombian government gave me a visa to live in Colombia for a year, I was told by the Colombian government I was no longer allowed to drive on my Florida driver's license. I had to get a Colombian driver's license. I said, well, thank you very much, but I'm not driving in Colombia on any driver's license. I'm going to use the bus or a taxi. Okay? And I didn't stay in Colombia a year. I stayed in Colombia for 11 months. I didn't want the U.S. government having a heart attack when I came in through Border Patrol saying, why have you been out of the country for a year? So I was out of the country for 11 months. So that I didn't get that question. Let me see. My opinion is, if Enterprise Rental Car says you can drive on a foreign driver's license in New Jersey, then obviously they're going to trust you with an Enterprise rental car. Just don't leave the state of New Jersey. Stay in New Jersey. Okay? But what happens if your beneficiary gets into a car accident while waiting for the green card? I don't know. That's all up to insurance companies, right? But it might affect your green card application. If she's at fault or he's at fault, if you are a foreign national driving on a foreign driver's license in the United States of America, waiting for your green card, and you get into a car accident and you are at fault, and it's a serious accident, and somebody gets hurt, you're liable. Your green card is going to be flushed down the banyo. Okay, immigration is not going to give you a green card if you cause an accident that kills somebody or hurts somebody significantly. It's gonna be an issue. So my advice is this: if you are a foreign national, get to America, get your green card first, and then get your U.S. driver's license. Don't drive. Do not drive in the United States on a foreign driver's license. Get your U.S. driver's license so you cover yourself legally, so you don't lose your green card if you have an accident. All right? Just my opinion, okay? I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just saying what my opinion is on how to protect you and to protect your beneficiary. Ross Lee, the Registro Civil is in Spanish because she is Colombian. Does she need to have it translated? Not for the embassy in Bogota, no. Not at all. The U.S. Embassy in Bogota doesn't need a translation into English, but you will need to get it translated into English for the green card application when you file for the green card. Rambling Man, Kayadan. Okay, so I can use my 1040 in lieu of transcript. That's good. Yeah, you can. Rambling Man, that's correct. But I recommend the 1040 and the tax transcript. But if you can't get the tax transcript, don't worry. You can't get it. You can't get it. I'm going to file my taxes for 2023 next month. I'm not going to be able to get my tax transcript because it takes them 3 months to upload and process it. So I'm going to include my 1040 and my 1099s in Karina's green card application. And I'm going to write a little letter saying, this is my tax return. Unfortunately, I couldn't get my tax transcript because the information is not yet available from the IRS. Sign it and date it. You know, remember, you got to babysit these immigration officers, okay? You got to babysit them. You don't want to give them a reason. Kusam Kang, exactly. Thank you. No worries, Kusam Kang. Larry Piercy, so another steak dinner, sir. Oh, okay. Quiero otro cena con Larry. Krenda liked that dinner. She appreciated that dinner. I'm getting a little confused about the green card stuff. No, it's not difficult. You got to get to the NOA2 letter first, Larry. You advise them you don't need a social security number, but you still file 765 and 485. On the 485, Larry, you can have Homeland Security process your social security number for your beneficiary. Okay? On the 485, it says, do you want us to process your social security number for you? Check yes. Do you give us permission to give the Social Security Administration permission to use this documentation to process your beneficiary's social security number? Yes. Okay. In Karina's case, we will have her social security number in about 2 weeks. I'll file for the green card next month. I will put her social security number in the I-485, and I will check, no, I don't need you to file for Karina's social security number. We have it right here. When her green card, they'll say, okay, that's less work for them to do, and that speeds up the green card process for us. They will then mail Karina her green card. We will then take her green card, go to the Social Security Administration. Here's her green card. They will go in the computer and update her status as a legal permanent resident. It's easy, Larry. Don't get confused, okay? Come on, man. It's not confusing. I just unconfused you, right? Chris and Emma's talking to Larry Piercy. Eat me a steak. Diego Ross. Okay. I'll eat a steak for you, okay? So my doctor says I got to, a few years ago, the doctor said to me, well, you got to quit drinking Coca-Cola. It's bad for you. It's got too much sugar. So I said, okay. So I switched to Mountain Dew. All right. My other doctor years ago said, you got to cut back on your pork chops. Okay. I said, okay. So I switched to T-bone steaks. So we're good. Ross Lee, the financial proof I need to present at the embassy need to be tax returns, tax transcripts, W-2, 12 months worth of bank statements, 6 months worth of pay stubs, a letter from your boss saying where you work and how much you make, and yes, a combination of both transcripts and 1040s. But for 2023, you will not be able to get a tax transcript, probably till the summer, okay? When Karina went to her K-1 visa interview at the U.S. Embassy in Bogota, Colombia, she had my 3 years worth of tax transcripts. She had 3 years worth of 1040s. She had 3 years worth of 1099s and W-2s. She had 12 months worth of bank statements. She had 6 months worth of pay stubs. And she had a letter from my broker telling the embassy that I was a real estate agent. And she went to the visa interview with all that financial information, plus the original I-134 signed and dated by me. Your beneficiary does not sign the I-134, okay? The immigration officer took my 2022 tax return, my 1040, my transcript, my 1099, and all he did was take the 2022. He didn't take the 2021 or the 2020. But that's not to say he could have asked for them. Okay? He could have asked for them, and Karina would have been ready to, and she would have been prepared to hand them over. So bring them just in case they ask you for them. Okay? I've got itchy nose, guys. You got it. Ross Lee. You need your tax returns, tax transcripts, W-2s, bank statements, 12 months worth, 6 months worth of pay stubs, and a letter from your boss saying where you work and how much you make. And Larry Piercy says, check Chris. Craig Williams, exactly my thoughts, Diego, thank you. Okay, Craig. And Betty Mamo, you guys are looking good together. Well, thanks, Betty. We appreciate that. We got the American flag right here. Look at that. See it. Check that out. Chris and Emma, what all paperwork do I need to send her to the Philippines to get everything ready for the interview, like May or June? Check back with me in April or March, and I'll go over it with you. I've made videos on what to bring to a visa interview. I've made a video on how to assemble the documents for a K1 visa interview. Watch the video. I explained it. I made a video. How to assemble documents for the K1 visa interview. I made a video, tells you how to do it. But you're still early, Chris and Emma. You're still way early for me to go over it with you, okay? Larry Pearson, we went from 2 years to a no. 2 yeses to a no. What? Jean Chen, I received the NOA2 letter from USCIS in early January. This, okay. Larry Pearson, I think I got a thumbs up. There you go. Well, come on, Larry. If you want to buy Karina another steak dinner, okay, we're in, okay? We're good. But I don't want you to have to keep doing that, okay? Unless you want to. I mean, I'm doing this stuff for free, guys. I do the channel for free. You don't have to buy lunch, but or dinner. But if you want to buy Karina dinner again, come on, let's do it again. It's up to you, Larry. Gina Chen. So Jean Chen. My fiance received a letter from her embassy. I did not receive a welcome letter. Do I need the welcome letter? Which country? Jean Chen. What country? What embassy? What country? I'll try to help you. But the welcome letter, for us, we got the welcome letter and we had to bring it to the doctor's office for the medical exam. Okay? Karina couldn't schedule her medical exam without the welcome letter and the list of travelers, which came from the MVC and from the embassy, okay? So it depends on the country. Some countries, in Vietnam, in Vietnam, the U.S. Embassy in Vietnam, what I would do, here's what I would do, right? Call the civil surgeon in Vietnam and ask the civil surgeon, or have your beneficiary call the civil surgeon approved by the embassy in Vietnam, ask the medical doctor or secretary, what documents do I need to bring to you to schedule the medical exam? And then the doctor's secretary will tell you. And then we'll go to the next step, okay? Larry Piercy, I'm in, okay. So we're in for a Texas Roadhouse again. Sound like a deal, okay? All right, just let us know, Larry, when's a good day. Just don't do it on a Monday, Wednesday, or a Saturday because I do a live stream for you guys on those days, okay? Chris and Emma, okay, well, then I'm thinking it will be late July or August once she has the NBI clearance straightened out. But when is the best time for me to request transcripts for 2023? I would say by June. June of 2024 is when you can get your transcripts by June of 2024. Okay. Chris and Emma, taxes in late February, so I'll have everything fine and ready. I'll let you know if it's filed. Okay. And Larry Piercy, I'm not confused about that. Okay, Larry, let us know what day you want to go eat steak at the Texas Roadhouse. Remember, I can't have pork chops now. I gotta eat steak. All right, according to my doctor. JTR3. So, will I have to be present in Laos to do the report? My baby abroad in Laos? No, for CRBA. No, your beneficiary can do it. You are the fiance. You're an American citizen. You're the American citizen living in the United States, right? You don't have to get on a plane and fly to Laos to register your baby at the U.S. Embassy as a U.S. citizen. Your beneficiary can do that, but you make sure your name's on the birth certificate as the father, okay, right? Your name's on the birth certificate as the father. You can prove you're a U.S. You can prove you're the dad, okay? That's all they want to see. And then your beneficiary can go ahead and get U.S. citizenship to get the passport for your baby, okay? All right, guys, I've been talking an hour and 29 minutes. I got a sore throat. I'm going to drink another Mountain Dew. Karina's going to make something to eat, or I'll make something to eat. I don't know. Karina, tu tienes hambre?
Poquito.
So Karina's a little bit hungry, and we're going to check out the live stream. Tomorrow is February 1st. It's a brand new month, guys. You're a month closer to getting your K1 visa in your passports. Baby isn't born yet, but thank you. Okay. When the baby is born, your beneficiary will go to the embassy in Laos, make sure your name's on the birth certificate, and get that kid U.S. citizenship. Congratulations on your new baby, by the way. See you guys. What day is it today? ¿Qué día?
Hoy es miércoles. tu
Oh, today's
cumpleaños.
Wednesday.
Oh.
Oh, Wednesday. It's Wednesday. So we'll see you guys on Saturday. See you guys later.